to do my hair for this. I should have. But
Megan, I've been up since 3 a.m. It is now 7:30. My makeup is packed in my suitcase when I flew home. I was like, there's just no way
you look great.
you're
though.
getting
You
more
always
than
look
this
great.
from me. I feel like The Walking Dead.
Well, you look really nice.
I appreciate that. You do as well. You also have that like post-workout glow, which is
Yeah.
kind of annoying me a little bit.
Oh my God. So I actually quit Orange Theory, which is a huge
This is a saga in your life.
sound the alarm, everyone.
Something
Also,
else.
hi, we're back.
Hi guys, welcome back. It's been a minute.
It's been a fucking minute. We're so happy to be back. But yes, I quit Orange Theory. Huge, huge. I don't know where I'm going next. It's all huge drama in my life. But basically, I've gotten quite tired of just like the same thing all the time. I think it's an awesome workout, but I just want to switch it up. And so I've been up at my cottage so much this summer, and so I haven't been going. It's been like a month and a half. And I was like, you know what, Megan? Go after work today. Like, how bad could it possibly be, right? So then I get there and everyone's like, oh my God, she's back. Like, you're back.
To Orange
Like,
Theory?
the instructors, yeah, are like, oh my God, you're back. And I was like, yeah, I'm back. And they're like, we heard you're leaving. And like, they were super sweet. But they were like, you came back on an interesting day. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, well, it's dry try today, which is like the hardest Orange Theory workout. Like, it's basically, I just not even worth going into because you can go on Reddit. They talk about it on Reddit if anyone's curious. But I barely could walk. I could barely walk out of the workout. And Eddie, my favorite instructor, was like, come back to us soon, Meg. And I was like, I might not be able to.
This is the end.
This killed me.
Yeah. Jesus. Well, I'm proud of you for going back even after the breakups. That is.
I know. It was awkward. My social anxiety was not loving it, but I was like, you know what? I paid for these classes. So
you've got to get your money's worth.
I got to get. Oh my God.
What the fuck was that?
I live on a major street in Toronto and it's very loud right now. I'm not sure what's going on downstairs.
Do you need to close your window?
I think it's going to be okay. If it happens again, then absolutely. But I think we're okay for now.
Well, I mean, hopefully we don't get the, tugboat foghorn again. But anyways, how are you doing?
Yeah, it's been a minute since we
like
caught up.
August.
I'm
not since we caught up, since we recorded.
Actually, you know what? Why don't I get real here? I'm in a bit of a funk. I don't like that summer is ending. I'm struggling with it a little bit. I'm sort of like creating, I am creating a bucket list for fall, which is helping me a little bit in terms of restaurants I want to go to, gigs I want to go to, little trips I want to do. But I'm struggling a little bit. Like, summer's my favorite season. And I feel like it's being taken away from me. I don't
ripped out of our hands. I do think, and we'll do an episode on this shortly. We talked about it, like the September scaries almost, or like the great lock-in, whatever you want to call it, and how we're maybe approaching it. Because I do think we have practical solutions that we are trying to implement because both of us are not going willingly into the fall.
No. And we're going to get to that in a second. But yeah, essentially I would say high level, feeling a bit meh. That being said, a spot of goodness is that I read an article today that said that we can expect warm-ish weather into mid-October. So that's kind of exciting.
Wow.
Yeah. And
thrilling.
I have a surprise to share with the class. Hopefully, Nicole doesn't know I'm going to do this. So remember when I talked about my pottery class that I did?
Yeah.
So I finally got the 2 things from my boss. He left it at my my office the 2 things that I made from pottery. Do you want to see them?
Oh my God, we're doing show and tell? This is the best. We're gonna do show me right now.
Okay, so I'll show them one at a time because they're very unique and special. So they deserve their own spot in the sun. So this is my one. I think it's meant to be an espresso mug.
It's actually quite cute. It's just like, I don't know why I was expecting it to. It's like a little bit too big for an espresso mug, but too small to be anything else.
Okay, so watch your mouth because this is by far the better of the 2. Okay? So that's one.
Sorry, can I see that closer? Can I see the glazing on it?
Sure. Gorgeous, isn't it?
Stunning.
Look at that bottom line. It's
so interesting to me because we have a gray and then we have a deep burgundy and then we have like a beige.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting color palette.
Okay. Now we get to the pièce de résistance. This is meant to be an espresso.
I'm going to close my eyes. Okay.
This is meant to be an espresso cup. Go ahead.
Tell me when.
Go ahead. This is all I walked away with after 4 weeks of pottery.
I mean, you could put nuts in that.
What the fuck? I'm actually thinking I'll use it. I'm thinking I'll use it for my earrings. Maybe
cute. We love it. We love it.
It's not practical. It's not practical.
Oh my God, that's funny.
Yeah.
And like, here's the thing why I'm laughing is like, if you are a longtime listener, you remember Megan's pottery class
saga.
And it was a saga. And do you want something so funny? Do you know what's on my fall list?
Pottery. Listen.
And I thought twice about it.
It's not for the weak. It's not for the weak. And I am weak. Yeah. Okay? I don't try things. I don't try things that I think I might be bad at.
I need to get a t-shirt made. This is not, pottery is not for the weak. And I am weak.
It's not. And I'm weak. Like, seriously, it's really difficult. And you have to have patience, which I have none of. And I don't like being bad at things. And guess what? As it turns out, I am seriously bad at pottery.
Not ideal.
Maybe you'll be better. Maybe you can show it off on, show off your creations on the pod at some point this fall.
So funny. And I love that full circle moment for us. And I love that you surprised me because like very often we both act like we're surprised when we talk about, so what's new with you? Because we've just had 45 minutes of catching up.
Don't tell everyone that.
Well, I mean, we go into more detail on the pod, I would find.
Yeah, we have to have a sense of where we're headed.
We just it's a pre-production meeting more than anything.
Yeah, it's a production call, just between the two of us.
Oh my God, I'm in such a weird mood. I'd say because of my not jet lag, just lack of sleep. I feel like I'm in the same kind of like silly, goofy mood ish.
Maybe tell the class where you were. We haven't even gotten into that.
Yeah, I flew back from Halifax today. I spent 5-6 days in Nova Scotia because I had my board meeting there yesterday and had like dinners and stuff like that alongside of it and like engagements with some of our partner associations. And I love Nova Scotia. My dad is from Nova Scotia. It's where my parents met. And I still have a lot of family in Nova Scotia as well. So I flew in early on Friday and spent basically the weekend with family in different places, and started off in Port Mattoon. It's so weird because that's just how they pronounce it, but it's spelled Port Mouton. It's a French settlement or whatever, but it's right next to a beautiful beach that you'll see all over TikTok called Carter's Beach. And one of my new core memories is Saturday morning we went to Carter's Beach and we walked all of it and got to the end, and my uncle was like, well, we can turn back and come back where we came, or we can just keep going through the water. The tide's going out, and Nicole, you're in shorts. I think you'll be fine. Flash forward to I'm waist deep in freezing cold water that is the Atlantic Ocean, with everyone trying just to make it back. I'm like holding my phone above my head,
Oh my God.
And it's now, but I loved it. It like is such a core memory for me now, just wading through the Atlantic Ocean.
Love it.
Yeah, I had like lovely visits with my cousins and my family. And yeah, it was just a really nice trip. Yeah, it was kind of like a mini holiday. But I'm back now. I'm freaking exhausted because my flight was at 7 a.m. like Nova Scotia time, which is an hour ahead of us. So it's just been a bit of a long day. And I was on a call with one of prospective sponsor today. And it was like, I had barely had 2 brain cells that I could rub together on this call. It was like, I dug deep to be able to form full sentences. It was not my best work, I have to be honest, but we made it through. And then, yeah, I'm kind of feeling like weirdly the same as you. There's like a weird, it's like my body can't decide if they're like right now is an ending or a beginning. And I think that in a nutshell is what September is. We were talking about this before we recorded. I always look at September almost as like, it's like back to school energy. So it's like beginning of the year vibe in a lot of ways. And for like our calendar for my work, a lot of things start kicking off around now and go into the anyways. But at the same time, it's the countdown to the end of the year.
Yeah.
So it feels like open with endless possibilities. And it should be like such a fun change of season and change of vibes. But I'm also like, man, the clock is ticking.
Yeah.
And again, vulnerable moment. We were talking about how I just feel like, okay, it's another September that I am single out of like the last few years. And again, it's not for lack of like trying and dating. It's just like I cannot find someone that I actively want to date. Same. Like that's the problem right now. It's quite frustrating. And I was saying to Meg, it almost feels like to some extent every single time I have, you know, a meeting or an event through work, like I have really great relationships with so many people that I work with. And they're invested in me and like they care and they ask what's going on in my life. And it kind of just feels like I know it's a good thing. Like I don't want to settle, but it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm a loser. I still don't have. Yeah. Here again, a few months later, like still single.
Because they're asking because they're curious, right? Like it comes from a really good place. And I think people have even gotten smarter about the way they ask. So oftentimes it's not even about that. It's like I'll have friends who are like, so have you been dating recently? You know, they'll put it in a way that's very much like you shouldn't necessarily have to be if you don't want to, but like, have you been dating recently? And I appreciate that. But it's still a reminder that you're not with someone.
Well, you're not even where you think you would be. And I think, again, it's the change of season. It's the lack of sleep. We can blame it on a whole host of things, including the subject of our topic today, maybe.
Yeah.
But you just look and you're like, man, like I'm so proud of myself in so many ways of where I am. And like, I know deep down, it's me being single. It's because I just haven't met the right person yet. It's not a worth thing, even though it's really hard to like detach that sometimes. But it's hard not to feel like that countdown or like you're running out of time.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, we haven't recorded since I think I got back from England.
No, we haven't. Well, you had the whole Air Canada saga, which is a whole other level.
Yeah, that was a whole thing. Air Canada got me, but I went back to London for like a hot minute. It ended up being a week, but for one of my best friend's weddings, and it was so fun, and I'm so glad I went back. But similarly to what you're describing of people asking you, so are you dating anyone or any updates about your, you know, it's just natural. You're at a wedding. Of course, people are asking you what's going on. And these are all people like I left London like in January. It's going to be 5 years ago. And a lot of the people that were dating are now getting married. And so I'm going back for their weddings. or they're still with their partner, or, you know, some people have broken up and they're in new relationships. So I'm meeting those new partners, and I'm sitting there being like, it's been almost 5 years, and I don't, and this is like me being incredibly vulnerable, and it's not true, but the the rhetoric or the story I'm telling myself is like, I don't have anything to show for the 5 years, you know? And that's not true. I know objectively it's not. But I think if we're being honest with ourselves, like a lot of us have stories like that. If we're experiencing being single in our 30s, there's just an expectation that, you know, what's going on? Like, why have you not met someone yet? And then that makes me feel, yeah. And it didn't help that, like, it's a lot of guys, I didn't date anyone who was at the wedding, but a lot of guys that I had like sneaky makeouts with on like club dance floors, or like I sent a joking text to my friend Emily and was like, I've like made out with every single person who's given a speech tonight. It's weird. You know, so it's like
that people that have very
like come back from your past that you're like, oh, and I'm still here, you know.
And this is where we say, and you're gonna love my transition, play Taylor Swift Right Where You Left Me.
Oh, boom. Yeah, and I don't know. I know that this might feel to some people like it's not particularly connected to the Taylor and Travis of it all and getting married, but that was a huge cultural phenomenon. The fact that like she got engaged, everyone was losing it. I mean, the memes that you're seeing of people being like, I'm sorry, you expect me to work today? I just found out that Taylor Swift got engaged.
I was in the office and I thought I was going to have to call the hospital, like the ambulance for someone, because I'm on a call, my office door is shut, and I just hear a shriek and then running down the hall. I'm like, who fainted? Who's sick? What's happening? And I come out and they're just like losing it because Taylor's engaged. So it's a phenomenon, to say the least.
Sorry, team. It was getting incredibly dark on my couch, so I needed to turn the light on.
Yeah.
But yes, it was a cultural phenomenon. And everyone's really excited, and we're really excited that she's engaged and she's happy. And like that New Heights episode with Travis and Taylor, it was so freaking cute. But
it like made me believe in love again. But
yes, it's like, it's really exciting, and like there's so many good things about being like she held out for what she wanted, and like that's so great. But I do think that there's something a little insidious about like how much the world loves that Taylor Swift has found love. And I think it's teaching us something about society, of like what society values.
Well, I think to some extent it's hard for us not to feel that, right?
Yes. Oh, exactly.
And I think if you like go back and listen to our episode, the Travis Kelce of it all, like when they started dating and how important this relationship was and how they were portraying it, and like him claiming her finally when like all of her past, you know, boyfriends didn't, and were like embarrassed by her, and he was just like very much like a man and leading and so proud to be with her. That I think is still true. And I think for me, and it's there's two parts to how I'm feeling about this. And one is I'm like, I feel like my best friend just got engaged. And I'm like, it's like, there's this TikTok trend where it's like she made it through or something, and then it transitions into You Are in Love, which is my favorite Taylor Swift song. And it's like, she survived so much, and like so many like not great boys. Like if you just take away the fact that she's like a mega pop star and the most famous woman in the world and the richest, like all of that, and you just look at it from the fact that she's a 35, almost 36-year-old woman who dated all these men that just never appreciated her. And there's this guy there's something lovely about that. But there's also at the same time, this is one of the least interesting things about her.
Yes.
Is her relationship and getting engaged, right? Like, let's look at the fact that she has this amazing album that she says is her favorite album she's produced, and did well on tour in Europe, and is back with like Max Martin, who is a huge producer for her on 1989 and some of like her biggest hits. And, you know, she's just come off this massive world tour. Like, and this is an exciting thing, but we can't lose the plot in the sense that like this isn't it. This is a piece of the story.
Yeah.
And it can often feel like with the way the media is portraying it that like this is the pinnacle of Taylor Swift.
Exactly. That this is the thing that we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
You know? And there was a really, and to try to connect the dots, I think between how we're feeling given it's September again, and we're reflecting on where we're at in our life and how we feel about dating and finding love, with what's going on with Taylor Swift and the obsession with her getting engaged. I wanted to read something from her 30s, which is it's at her.30s on Instagram. It might be the same on TikTok, but it's awesome if you don't follow them. But they wrote a really interesting piece on Instagram about this. And I just wanted to read it so that, well, I just think it's great. So they say, what Taylor Swift's engagement doesn't tell you about your 30s. We love love. We're really happy for her. But here's the thing. Why does the internet act like this is the ultimate validation for a woman in her 30s? Because we've seen this before. Jennifer Aniston, Selena Gomez, every woman in the world loudly watched, wondering if she'd ever, quote, lock someone down. And it's not an issue that only affects famous women. For many of us, it's as if the clock strikes 30 and suddenly your relationship status becomes public property. Friends, parents, grandparents, colleagues are all very invested in your apparently unresolved story. But love is only one of a dozen ways a woman can live a full, colorful decade. At her 30s, we want the conversation to shift from when will she find her other half to, hey, look at how secure she is. Because your 30s aren't a waiting room for love. Oh, I love that line. They're a season of self-worth, self-acceptance, self-growth. That's the love story we don't talk about enough. Your 30s can also be about solo trips without syncing calendars. Your 30s can be about buying the bag you've wanted since 2012. Your 30s can also be about spontaneous girl dinners, not compromising on pink decor, and never having to put the toilet seat down. Here's the truth. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're not missing anything. You're curating your life so that when someone does join, they're adding, not filling.
Boom.
Boom.
I think the line in there that really gets me is the point about it being our story being unresolved.
Yeah.
That I think is the perfect way to describe, I think, how sometimes we feel about it, but also how other people may feel about us still being single. Like, oh, there's just this thing that's still outstanding. And like, would someone have the exact same feeling if they hadn't reached a certain level in their career by this point? Would someone feel this way, that we are unresolved if we hadn't purchased a property by this point? Like, there's other milestones in life that we're trying to reach, but this one just feels like the weight it carries far supersedes anything else that we would measure our success and our worth against.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I think the answer is no, you know? I think there's something really interesting that happens around, even if a woman doesn't hit those other milestones, you know, like the career milestone, or, you know, whatever they want to do. Like if it's like travel to 30 different countries or whatever. If they found love, or if they found a partner, lasting love, I think is the right way, then you're fine. I think society feel that, and I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's how society.
Oh, thank God we don't have to worry about her anymore.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about her anymore. She's okay. Yes, okay. She didn't get to do all the things she wanted in life, but she found someone to spend her life with. And so I think there's, and I see this play out a little bit even in like The Summer I Turned Pretty, like watching The Summer I Turned Pretty, because of the way I feel about while I'm watching it. I'm like so locked into this show about, frankly, is fucked up. Like, it's crazy, man. If anyone's watching it, like I'm up
behind
to
an
speed,
episode
and
or two.
it is crazy, man. But I am so locked in to, you know, who she'll choose and what, you know, where, which one is going to be her life partner. And I feel, I was just reflecting as we're talking, it's like I am even still harboring this, like, she'll be fine if she chooses the right one, or if
and it's
she
like, that's
finds the
not
right
the
person.
point.
And that is not the point.
Yeah. I think too, it's so funny because when we were originally talking about doing an episode inspired by Taylor Swift getting engaged, like my original feeling of this was like, I can't wait to talk about how important this is. And I do think to some level there's like on like the positive side, like I do feel like there's something so cool about watching a woman who's like held out for so long, you know, find her happily ever after.
Sorry, I'm not
alongside success.
We're just so different. We're just so different. Like that is not at all what I thought.
No, I know. And like I think what it is just as we get deeper into September and it's colder months and stuff, and I like relook at this through the lens of my own feelings and attach it to myself, I still think it's so nice to see
yes, absolutely,
such a strong example of, and again, like I think the other thing that's so nice is, you know, they dated for a few years. It wasn't like they met and got engaged 4 months later, which also could very well happen to both of us at some point. But it felt like she wasn't rushing through it in a lot of ways, which I also think is nice to see. But it's hard not to look at this and the praise that it gets and feel like, oh, now the world feels like she's complete.
Yeah.
And like that reflected back on ourselves.
It doesn't feel nice.
No, it doesn't feel nice. And it's so frustrating because there's so many more interesting things about me and about you and about all of the amazing single women that I know that like when we find someone, that's not it. Like our story doesn't now magically conclude and we live happily ever after. That's a chapter. That's a storyline. It's not the story.
Yeah. Ooh, nice. That's a nice way of putting it. And I think what complicates this for me, and I think for you too, is how badly we do want to meet someone. Like what's a complicating factor in all of this is like, I want to sit here and I do believe that it's a storyline and not the full story. Like I fully agree with you, but it's hard because it's also okay to want to find a partner, and it's okay to want that. And it's, I guess the challenge is there's like a couple of things, not buying into the fact that it's your whole story is finding the partner. And then the other challenge is like finding balance in that desire to find a partner and remembering, like, for me, you know, I was having a conversation with one of my friends yesterday and she was saying, like, how do I stop being so focused on the fact that it feels like I'm running out of time and the fact that it feels like, and I was like, that's a really good question. And I don't know if I have all of the answers, but like when I'm feeling like that, because it happens to me typically in this month or around this time of the year, because my summer is over and I start to panic. I'm like, I try to go internal. So like focus on the things that I can control that I know bring me joy, or new experiences that I can control that bring me joy. Yeah. Without focusing on the external piece.
And I think that's such a good reminder in all of this is you don't have to do anything to be worthy of, like, truthfully, like, yeah, you could be the kind of person that goes on 50 first dates and it's date 50 that you meet your person. You could also be someone that never downloads a dating app, goes to a coffee shop, drops something, the guy picks it up, boom, there's your husband. Like, there's no right way or recipe to find love. And I think that's the most frustrating thing in a lot of ways for all of us. And I want to express that while I've said before, I would rather be single for the rest of my life than settle and be in a relationship with someone who doesn't deserve me or doesn't make me happy or any number of things in that regard. Like, there's just no point in settling at this point. Like, I've come this far. I'm not going to get in a relationship for the sake of it. At the same time, well, you can have that confidence and have that self-assured, attitude. It's okay to wobble. It's okay and so human to be like, well, wait, when the fuck is this going to happen? Am I running out of time? Is just the life that I'm going to have never going to happen? Because like I had that this week. Yeah, and like same. Two things can be true at the same time. And it's not an either or. And so if you and I maybe present sometimes like we are confident and like that like last single girl summer vibes and
which we felt in the moment.
Totally. And like, not to say we won't, again, like 80% of the time I feel good. It's just there's those little moments that pop up and it's so human. And I just think that for, if anyone's listening to this being like, what the fuck is the point? Are they going to get to the point? That's the point.
What's the point?
There isn't a point. It's okay. No, but it's just like, it's okay.
Yeah.
And it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, I agree. I think it's just, I've been having a lot of conversations with friends around like, how's everyone doing? And it's like, a lot of people are like, and a lot of people who are in, who are married, who have children, who are in committed relationships, like not all just, people who are single trying to get out on dates. But I think a lot of people are just feeling a little wobbly.
Yeah. But that's like, I also keep reminding myself, you can't have your ups if you don't have your downs. You can't feel true happiness if you also don't know what it feels like to not be happy at certain points. I think that life is all very cyclical and it's okay to be right now wobbly. Yeah. Because it's going to force you to go inwards. It's going to force you to reassess. It's going to force you to be like, wait, where do I pour this energy into? Yeah. And the right answer is always yourself.
Yeah. Hopefully this helped. Hopefully this was like a nice little therapy session. Well, it was a therapy session for us.
It actually felt really good.
A little bit cathartic for everyone listening. And we've got some amazing episodes coming. I know we took about a month off. We're sorry. Don't hate us.
We needed
some time. We needed some time.
But I'm pumped for some of this stuff.
Yeah. We've got some good shit coming up. So
yeah. On that note,
see you next week.
Bye, guys. We love you.
Love you. Bye.